This is the all-new F-150 Lightning Flash, and we're going to talk about in this video if this vehicle has the opportunity to save Ford Motor Company when it comes to EVs. And we're also going to be talking about the drama with that level 3 fast charger and it costing $1.2 million. That is coming up in this video. This F-150 Lightning Flash is all new because it is a brand new trim level for 2024. Ford Motor Company used to have the Pro, the XLT, the Lariat, and the Platinum in that order from least expensive to most expensive. Now they have inserted this vehicle, the Lightning Flash, which sits between an F-150 XLT and the Lariat. This specific version of the F-150 Lightning comes automatically with the extended range battery. So you get 320 miles worth of range. And by the way, before we go any further in this video, this is not a political video at all. That's not what we get into. I just love the Ford product and I want to make sure that we cover that and the latest news, because at the end of the day, this vehicle may or may not be the thing that allows Ford to continue selling V8s. And so if you're a V8 lover and an EV hater, you still need to watch this video, because at the end of the day, this vehicle alone could save Ford Motor Company's V8. Let's talk about a few updates on this F-150 Lightning for 24 compared to 23. First things first, you have the Mega Power Frunk. That is not changing, but what is changing is this faux grille. Because this is a variant of the XLT, you'll notice it's got this molded and color look to it versus a painted and finished look on the front end. But you still have your massive LED light bar that runs across the front of the vehicle itself. Moving around to the other side, you're going to notice that this fender is also different compared to the previous generation of the F-150 Lightning. You'll notice in the old versions, the 22 and 23, that you had a unique front fender on both sides, because on the driver's side, you had your charge port. The Ford wanted it to be symmetrical, so they gave us a fake charge door on the passenger side. And now for 2024, they're giving us what looks to be an OEM factory gas version of the front fender. My guess is this is all for economy of scale. If Ford doesn't have to manufacture a unique passenger front fender, maybe they can save a few bucks. And when you save a few bucks over thousands and thousands and thousands of units, you can save a lot of money if you're Ford Motor Company. Speaking of the charge port, let's take a look at it. This is the driver's side of the vehicle, and as you can tell, there's a brand new logo here. You've got the black with the neon blue behind it. Kind of tells you that this thing is an EV, but if you notice, they've got a brand new little indentation here, so that way you know this is where you need to... I just whacked the camera. As you can tell, that specific button is to tell exactly where your finger needs to go to open and close the charge port. Because I've had some people that are over here pressing here, do you pull on it here? No, just press the button and it pops automatically open. Here you're gonna notice a couple of things. This is still the older standard for the charger. You have a CCS connector over here, which when you flip this door down, you can see that it fits these massive plugs that we have right here. So what you have is this port up here is really, when it comes to DC fast charging, which is what this charger is for, all of your power is going to be coming through these bottom two ports, and that's not the case when you're doing level 2 chargers. So when you're going to be just doing your home charging, all you do is plug into a smaller plug right here, but when it's time to do that level 3 fast charging, flip that door down and stick that gigantic cord into the vehicle. Now, fun fact for you, Ford Motor Company has adopted the Tesla NACS supercharger standard for all of their vehicles in the future. So not in 24, but maybe in 25 or 26, you're going to be getting that smaller plug on all of their vehicles. But with the current vehicle, Ford is just going to give you an adapter to fit this charge up to that Tesla supercharger. Now let's take a look at the Mega Power Frunk. What's so cool about this vehicle is you can fit up to 400 pounds in the front trunk area. And thankfully I haven't made it to 400 just yet. But as you can see, yes, you can fit up to 400 pounds and it's got plenty of room for my 6'3" broke back self. But a couple of things I want to show you is I'm sorry, I just, yeah. I'm sorry for the dad jokes, but you've got your mobile power cord connection right here. So that way, if you get in a pinch, you can always charge the vehicle using this. You'll notice that there's an active drain plug down in here. So that way you can actually fill this area up with ice and have your favorite non-alcoholic beverages when you're ready for game day. They've got an adapter right here, so that way you can plug your vehicle up into basically a dryer outlet in your house. Quite a few different cool little options. Another fun fact about the F-150 for 24 is that the EV battery in this vehicle is a lot smaller than most people realize. If you pull on this door, you can see there's the battery that powers the entire vehicle. It's a lot smaller than most. Okay, I'm still full of crap. That is not the battery that actually powers this vehicle. That is the battery for the 12-volt architecture. Basically, the things like the lock, the unlock, the smaller accessories are going to be powered with that battery. Your battery pack on the vehicle is going to run the length of the vehicle underneath it, built inside of the chassis. So anyways, that's important to know where that is, just in case you need to jump the vehicle off. You've got direct access with the vehicle located right here. The next couple of features I want to show you require a level 3 fast charger. And unfortunately, these are not live just yet. And I'm going to tell you all about those. But I need a level 3 charger to show you what one of these enhancements are. So let's hop in the car and head over to Busey's. On the inside of the truck, this one is going to look very suspiciously like the F-150 Lightning Lariat, which is why I think this is one of the cooler versions of the F-150 that you have seen as far as the EV is concerned. There's a lot of different changes, and we're going to cover those right now. But I want to first cover this right here. You're going to notice that the software inside the vehicle looks a little bit...
Trying to get it on the screen.
Cameraman, put your seatbelt on.
He said it gets seatbelts on, but he said it gets the lights on. Seatbelts on.
So the first thing you're going to notice is that the operating system has been updated for the 24 model compared to 23 and things like that. So I want to show you, you've got your menu button, your car button, and also your video button or your camera button. So if you want to see what's going on the vehicle, you can actually see what's going on with your trailer while you're driving down the road. And so some cool features, some cool updates, and I don't know if you can hear that, but there's something that just turned on that is going to make this vehicle so much better than the previous generation. That is the vapor injection heat pump. That does a couple of different things, predominantly in extreme heat or extreme cool temperatures. Let's talk about what it does in the cold temperatures. That heat pump is designed to be 3 times more efficient at converting air and heating it up, whether it's heating up the cabin or the battery pack itself. Because one of the reasons that I got rid of my F-150 Lightning is that in the cold winter time, your range would go significantly down because of an older type of technology when it comes to heating up the cabin and heating up the battery pack. But this heat pump is going to revolutionize that. I really think that will extend the range in EV driving and winter EV driving automatically. As we head to these level 3 fast chargers, I want to kind of cover a couple of things that you really need to know about the inside of the F-150 Lightning Flash. And the first thing is that it... I'm sorry, the cameraman had no idea I was about to do that. But one thing is for sure, the instant torque on the truck is still there. One of my favorite things that I love about the F-150 Lightning is that it's quick. It is stupid quick, because it's got a lot of horsepower, a lot of torque. Yes, it weighs a lot, but the responsiveness of that pedal is dadgum impressive. And as we're coming on this on-ramp, it actually handles more like a sports car than it does a big old pickup truck that weighs a ton, absolute ton. But here's the other thing that I love about this particular F-150 Lightning is because this thing's based on an XLT, but take a look at this. I press the button, I turn it on, and I've got Blue Cruise in an XLT. If you know me and watch this channel, you know I'm a massive fan of Blue Cruise. And this is not just a normal Blue Cruise. Yes, it is hands and feet free. I can drive constantly on the interstate. I think Ford calls them blue zones. Basically, if it's a dedicated interstate with divided road, it's pretty much fair game where the truck will drive itself as long as you're paying attention to the road. In addition to that, this is 1.3. So not only do I get your hands and feet free, but you know what? I want to go past this truck because they're going a little bit slower than I'd like. I can hit my blinker and watch this. The truck will change lanes for me. How cool is that? turn my blinker off, I'm good to go. That is a slick little setup. Another feature of 1.3 for Blue Cruise is it gives you the ability to get over when you're next to a big truck like that box truck. Notice that the vehicle scooches over in the lane to give me a little bit more space between me and that other truck. And then once I pass that truck, guess what? It centers me back up in the lane. This is a fantastic setup. In fact, Consumer Reports has rated this system to be the best hands-free driving system on the market, even beating out Tesla's autopilot. Pro tip for you, if you are traveling in an EV, especially an F-150 Lightning, I'm going to show you how you can have this vehicle charge actually faster, whether it's hot or it's cold outside. Come into the screen over here and select where you're going. Specifically, click on chargers. You can click here for the level 3 chargers. And as you can see, we are going to go to the Buseys right here. When you select this as the charger and hit go, the vehicle will precondition the battery to get it ready for the charge. Make sure not to set the address as the destination, but the actual charger itself. When you do that, the car will automatically start to dispense the energy needed to get the battery at the optimal temperature so it can take the highest rate of charge when you show up. We just pulled up to the Electrify America station at the Buseys, and we have found out that this charger is completely dead. This is one of the reasons that I got rid of my F-150 Lightning, is not because I had range anxiety, I had charger anxiety. Things like this would happen where I would pull up to a charger and you know what? This is the only one that's currently available and it's dead. So yeah, just gotta make sure that you plan out your road trips a little bit better. And I think that's one of the reasons that adoption is not the best right now in North America. Now, the good news is that Ford, as we've already mentioned to you, has adopted that MAX system, the North American charging standard, the Tesla plug. And if we had the adapter, I could just pull over there to those Tesla superchargers and charge right up, but I don't have that charger. So I'm gonna back up and wait for one of these other chargers to show you the next feature on the 24 F-150 Lightning. Coming back to the inside, you can see that Ford has given us the actual charge rate of the vehicle, and we're kicking around 184 kW. That is significantly faster than my 22 F-150 Lightning extended range. And what I love is, number one, Ford is listening to us. They've actually given us the speed displayed on the display, not just on the Electrify America charger or not just on the app itself. So I love that Ford's actually listening to us. But the other thing is you'll notice this thing is charging so much faster than my previous vehicle, primarily because we've preconditioned the battery. Ford has realized that a hot battery can't charge as fast. And so Ford has found some awesome ways to speed up the charge rate by finding ways to cool that battery pack down. Coming to the outside of the vehicle, we talked about Ford doing some things to try and keep that battery pack, I gotta keep my face straight. That Ford's doing some things to keep the battery pack cool.
Fuck to and spit on that thing, you get me?
Well, you can actually hear the cooling system doing everything that it can to keep that battery pack cool, because if it keeps it cool, guess what? You can have a higher charge rate in a very short period of time. I mean, take a look at what we've got here. We're 5 minutes into this charge, not counting all the time it took to wait for this charger, but I digress. 5 minutes of actual charge time, and we've picked up 49 to 61%. Don't make me do math on screen. But yeah, well, now we're at 62% in only 6 minutes. So is it gonna be crazy, crazy fast? No, but it is faster than the previous generation. Now that that fun charging experience is over, let's talk about a couple more features that are brand new for 24 model year. The first thing is going to be the Pro Trailer Backup Assist. Ford Motor Company has given us the Tow Tech package. It's basically standard equipment on this particular version of the F-150 Lightning. Now, it's not standard on all of them, but it is on this one and a few others, as you can see on the screen. So with that comes the Smart Hitch, the onboard scales, the 360 camera, which, by the way, is a feature and a function of the Blue Cruise system. In addition to that, you also have the Pro Trailer Backup Assist, Hitch Assist, and the Trailer Reverse Guidance. So a lot of different features are going to be included now in this version automatically, which is pretty cool because Ford has started this vehicle out at a much lower price point than the previous outgoing XLT extended range. In fact, this is a $5,500 cheaper package, even though you're picking up the big touchscreen and all of those things we've already discussed so far in the video. Now that we're back at the dealership from that fun charging experience, let's talk about the chargers a little bit more. As you can see, we've got these ChargePoint level 3 fast chargers, and we spent a lot of money on it. I think Ford was averaging up to $1.2 million on the average Ford dealership to become EV certified originally. And that was a voluntary program that Ford put out because at the time, Ford EVs were popping, man. These Lightnings, we weren't doing it, but they were selling for way over sticker. You had a lot of people that were fighting over Mustang Mach-E's. And quite frankly, it made a lot of sense for Ford to limit who has the ability because they didn't know if they could build enough of these things because of those microchip shortages. You fast forward to today, and they had a lot of different dealers that signed up on installing all this charging infrastructure. And now what happens? Well, Ford realizes that to hit their EPA requirements for EVs, that they're gonna have to open it up to all dealers, no questions asked. So what happens to these dealers that have spent a lot of money installing these 4 level 3 fast chargers as well as these level 2 ChargePoint chargers? What do? Well, there's a good chance we might be out of that money completely, and I'm okay with that because at the end of the day, I realized that I am a proud Ford dealer. Couldn't be more proud in my life to have been associated with another company. I'm very biased. I'm not afraid to admit that. And that's okay because whether or not Ford reimburses their dealers for a portion of this money, Ford, if I know you're watching this video, please help us reimburse us, but there's no expectations because I've realized that Ford's got a lot of smart people. They're looking at trends. And yes, we all missed the boat on that, but that's because it's a once in a generation kind of a thing called a microchip shortage. And we didn't realize how inflated the demand was on these vehicles until today. But I will tell you though, this F-150 Flash, I think will revolutionize the F-150 Lightning because of all of the features that you get at the price point that you can get it at.